Tanya. Am I on here?
You're on Facebook.
Joanne and Tanya and Linda's over on YouTube.
YouTube is not going. Well, maybe it is.
I don't know. Somehow she was able to put on there. Oh, Des! Our extended family, Des. So, Des, where do you live?
Is YouTube on there? Should be.
I'm curious. Well, no one's showing up on... Yes, we're live on YouTube. There we go. And here's my handsome hunk of burning love.
Hey there. Is this going to be a smooching show?
All that yummy goodness is mine. Oh dear.
This is quite a difference from the other day. Just kidding.
Might have to think about that.
Uh-oh. Looks like... are you going to stay sitting there? If
No.
so, I'll need to move over a little.
Well, where do you want me?
To your right just a little. Oh, hello everyone. Hi, Kathy, Debbie.
Ooh.
Debbie,
Oh.
oops. Julie.
Did Des say where she's from? Where is everybody from? Let us know.
Oops. Did you restart this? Oh, there we go. Yay. All right. Hello, friends. Thank you, Antoinette. Joanne, hello, you guys. Donna, hi from
Wow.
Ohio. Michigan. Tammy.
Wow.
Susan from Ohio.
Did Des say where she's from? I'm curious where she's from. She's always on here, and I never know where she's from. I don't see her on here yet.
I thought she was from California. Hi, Des.
Is she in California? Oh, okay. All right.
Did I remember
So
right,
today
Des?
we are talking about how to live on one income.
What?
And
That's
then
impossible.
at the end of the show, I have yesterday's soap show. Remember yesterday's soap show, guys? I have these two soaps I'm going to cut. Oatmeal and honey. Butterscotch marshmallow.
Oh, she said Nevada. Let me smell it.
Mmm.
That's
Doesn't that
super
smell
delish.
divine?
I knew it was over west of us, Des.
So I'm going to cut these at the end of the show for those of you who watched my soap show later. And I think I'm going to do a new soap selling thing where I sell the entire loaf at a discounted price. So if that's something you're interested in, you can email me and let me know. How to live on one income. Number 6 through 10. Can we make it all through? Ready,
Sure.
set, go!
Okay, Dave, pan right. Wait,
Dave can't pan right. Dave is not
Dave?
here today.
Aw.
Do you need me just to scoot over more?
She's having friends or something. I don't know what's with that.
Hold on, Mike left me. All the women are lining up to get
You're
you.
like, wait, what?
Ooh, Iowa and North Carolina, Illinois.
All right.
Illinois.
Susie from Frederick.
Frederick!
Hello,
Susie. We go there several times a week to the rec center.
I was just there this morning.
Okay, so number 6 on how to live
Massachusetts. Sorry.
on one income. Well, I think I have a stomach bug too. So,
Is that a one income thing?
no, but someone else said that. So if I'm looking a little worse for wear, that's why I'm trying to keep it going here. All right, how to live on one income. Any comments on...
Lots of highs.
Hello, Amy
Hi,
T.
everyone.
Donna.
And Linda says, I hope I can get this live. I've been waiting to hear part 2.
Yay.
I can't
Okay.
remember where we were with part 1.
So part 2, we stopped at number 5. Number 6, buy used whenever you can. And that especially includes cars and houses. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Do we need to make it a Saturday show? Oh, we can't.
Yeah, we may have to make it a Saturday show. People think when you say buy used that, oh, come up, would you come over here for just a minute? That I talk about just garage sales, but it's that and a little bit more. So I have a question for you. I'm gonna get this that you may have to lean down. I don't know if your head is in the shot. Are you having psychological issues because your mother bought your clothes when you were 3 at the thrift store and garage sales? I think she is having psychological issues.
Here's the thing, Mom. I've been meaning to talk to you about this. Just kidding.
Okay. Well, suck it up, Buttercup. No, but did it really bother you, or did you even notice any difference?
I don't remember when I was 3, so.
So, did it bother you going and buying your clothes at the thrift store 3 weeks ago?
No. I mean,
what is your view on that?
Well, thrift store clothes aren't like rags. They're all just fine clothes. And, well, and considering people have used them before, they're in pretty good shape, so they'll probably last a while too, so I don't know.
Thank you.
Ah,
Thank you.
I probably took that straight from your mouth. But it's true.
But you are an adult now, and what is your opinion? You are allowed to give your opinion. I'm not going to turn around and smack you or something, so do I do that? I don't do that. Okay. So, everyone says, well, my kids are going to have emotional problems if I buy their stuff at thrift stores. Whatever. Your kids are going to have emotional problems if you're in debt and you're screaming at your husband and your husband's screaming at you all the time because you guys are spending too much money.
Yeah, that would be really bad.
And so we take it all the way to cars. We buy, I would say probably 95%. Probably 95% of the items that we buy, excluding toilet paper, are from garage sales and thrift stores.
Yep.
Craigslist, those kinds of, all our furniture. We have bought Mike and I a new bed, but all the kids' beds are used, and even the whole bed bug thing. I've never had an issue with that. If you're worried about it, I talked to an exterminator one time, and he said all you have to do is take a big tarp and cover whatever furniture it is and bomb it, and that'll kill them. So I don't really worry about it. So I'm going to give you an example of things. Just this week, I had to use the truck twice.
So,
to go get stuff at thrift stores. I'm sorry.
For people that just joined us, we're talking about how to live on one income, but the point that Tara made was number 6 on the list is buying used.
Yes.
Because you're not going to get a disease from somebody.
You're not going to get a disease buying used, people.
For normal used things.
Oh man, we got 125 people left and we'll be at 50,000 paid subscribers. Put in our YouTube channel on Facebook. If you're not subscribed on Facebook, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We're giving away one of Mom's aprons. Hopefully we'll reach it by Monday, I hope. So, what did I buy at garage sales yesterday and today? This cutting mat right here. Brand new in the package. 2 of them, if you guys seen my cooking shows. Oh, there's only 1 in here. If you guys have seen my cooking shows, you know that my cutting mat is curling. So I'm going to cut this down and I'm going to get 2 out of this one. 50 cents. I looked it up, $6. So I just saved myself $5.50. This cutting mat, I looked up, I got for Mom for her Christmas present. It cost me 50 cents and it was $29. You are cheap buying your mother-in-law her Christmas presents.
I am. I didn't even know what they were.
Totally unused. Totally unused. Dial and spray. I love this for my garden and yard. I keep using them and I keep breaking them because I drop them or something. And I found this one for $2 at a garage sale. Saved myself $10 on this. I got... Can you lift up the computer and show them this? This is my good deal of the week. I was just talking to Jamie on if I should get it. Okay.
Is there anything on the screen I need to... No.
I don't think so. Okay. So look.
Wait, no more.
Can they see? Look what I just got. And look at the price. $2.99. See $2.99 on there? Can they see the $2.99?
I don't know.
This is a deal.
What?
Is that in the shot?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. See this baker's rack? I was just at a garage sale. The lady was selling it for $25. It's $299.
What?
This baker's rack. And I'm going to use it to cure my soap. Now, I do need to buy the drying racks or the trays for them. But I think we can find those for fairly cheap, for $4 to $5 each maybe. But I'm going to keep looking to see if I can find them used. I got a wingback chair yesterday for $5.
Wow.
I have been wanting to, you see all those quilting looking like wingback chairs on Pinterest. I have always wanted to do one of those. So I'm going to tear this sucker apart and recover it. You don't have to. I mean, I paid $5 for it, so I don't have to. But I want to do it just because it's something I've always wanted to try.
Yep.
And what else did I got? I got a stool for the show for $5. And then I got a push around ottoman that's a storage ottoman for $5 to go with the chair. Now, I did some good deals today.
Yep.
Don't you agree?
Yes.
And yesterday.
Many people are agreeing. Tina says that's where I get the name brand cheap.
Yes. And that is very true.
Yeah, people would never have known that we were getting clothes from there. When we, like the kids, they were in name brand clothes.
They were in Gap and we had all name brand clothes for the kids. That goes for cars too. Last week we went and bought me another new car, fourth one in 2 years. We won't mention, but
it's not because it was destroyed this time. It was because BJ wanted to buy the other car that she had, and she didn't like it so much. So
yeah. So BJ's buying my little black car that I got. Ellie, could you please go get the fan out of our bedroom? I'm sorry, I'm just about ready to have a stroke. And $2,500. It was valued at $4,000. 90,000 miles. A 1997 Toyota Camry. Seems to be working everything. We did a Carfax, working everything. They said it had been in an accident.
For its age. Well, it said
we couldn't find any evidence of it.
The Carfax said an accident was reported on the front left quarter, but it wasn't a
total or structural.
But when we looked at it,
just on the,
if that wasn't an accident, they did the best job I've ever seen repairing it, because not anything was even slightly out of place.
Is it cooler out?
So.
No. Let's go ahead and keep it close. A little bit. And so our cars, what else? Our furniture.
We really try to buy very few things new. I mean, obviously, like Tara said, toilet paper and underwear and stuff like that. But
is it?
But as much as possible, if we can get something that seems like it's new, but we paid, 3% the price for it.
I have a really nice Lazy Boy recliner in my living room that I think it was $700, he said. Leather recliner. My neighbors were moving. Oh, thank you. And they gave it to us.
Sandy wants to know if we're going to post pictures, I think, of the car. We don't have.
Oh yeah, we could. Well, we should have taken them, but I was at the garage sale with the rack, and I didn't get home in time, and then I started getting really sick. Oh, thanks, Mom. You're not looking good, daughter of mine. Thanks a lot. She doesn't want me passing out. Isn't that thoughtful of her?
Yep.
So buy what you can 95% used. I had a friend of mine.
Johnny and Deborah say yes. Oops. Previously owned is the way to go. We just bought a 2002 with 19,000 miles on it for $3,500. Wow, that's a really good deal. And that's the market we usually shop in for cars. And we always pay cash for them, and we save a ton of money.
Never ever had a car payment. Ever.
The thing about the cars, too, that people don't realize is that if you buy a newer car, that doesn't mean you're not going to have to pay for repairs. But repairs on older cars are usually cheaper.
Well, and we figured
insurance is much, much cheaper on older cars.
We figured it. By the time we had one car that was just a total lemon that Mike's folks bought for us. And it had to have a new transmission. It had to have a new engine, all within 3 months of us getting it. We make sure that we get cars that are really, really, we're really careful in how we get them. But this one,
if it leaks anything, we don't buy it.
Yeah. No leaks, nothing. Everything has to work.
Yeah, we really check everything out. We roll down every window from everything in the whole car. This guy was surprised on the one that we just got, but in the back, I pulled up the carpet on the trunk, and then on the sides, I pulled up the carpet, and there was a little bit of rust spot in there, and I was thinking, I wonder what that is. But because we were concerned about flood cars, since we've had big floods in Colorado, but it was the only spot that had any rust, and so we really, really thoroughly go through it and try to find something wrong. And The last couple cars, thankfully, we've not found anything wrong right away.
Did you have a good day at work? How did it go? It was good? Did you get a lot of tips? Yay! You had a boatload of money? You do know your first month's rent is due in a week.
I don't even get paid for 3 weeks. Even though I
You're
already
going to have to
Well,
figure
you
out a
have
way
to
to make
figure
that
it
work.
Huh? No, it's PJ's. Let's see, where was I talking about on the cars? Okay, just keep your...
Go.
All right, guys.
On all our cars, I've had friends tell me, well, I don't want to buy a used car because I don't want it to break down right away. Or I don't want to buy a used car because who knows if somebody was doing drugs in there. I don't want to buy a new car. Who knows what they've been doing in there. Okay, guys, here's the deal.
That's like we've also known people that said I don't want a used house for that same reason. That's really dumb.
It's really dumb. I mean, it's just flat out dumb. I'm sorry. It really is. It is not worth the money. And we have added up all of our used cars and repairs over the years. It has not equaled one new car yet in 22 years of marriage, and I think we're up to car number 13 or something, 14 now. We're getting up there in the car numbers. This is
Well,
like,
that's cars for, like, right now we have teenagers, and so we have a lot more cars in the driveway.
Yeah.
Well, or near the driveway.
are you
So-
okay?
Here, you keep talking.
Oh, conked his arm. Go get some ice. So, we've added all of it up, and it has not added up to even one brand new car, not to mention all the car taxes, all the extra insurance, everything. So don't give me that excuse. Okay, so the next excuse, which I will address, and this isn't my point number 6, but I'm going to address it now since several people are talking about it. I think it was maybe Lorraine and is it Kathy? I'm not sure. Somebody said, maybe I've got the names wrong, but somebody said one income is relative. One person's low income is not the same, or one income is not the same as another person's one income. That's a bunch of baloney.
What does that mean?
That means one person earns $6 an hour, so there's no way that they can live on that at all.
Well,
the other
$6 an hour.
earns,
If you're making $6 an hour or $8 or whatever, you need to be rethinking the job situation you're in, because that's just not. Yeah.
Or another person makes $200,000 a year, so it's different. That's not true. We have lived on $6 an hour with 2 kids, and we were paying off debt. We were paying off medical bills, not frivolous debt. When our daughter was born, we had $12,000 in medical bills, and we were paying that off. And
even at that price, we were able to make it work.
We made it work. So that is just an excuse. We moved to cheaper places to live so that we could afford to do that, so that we could afford to live on one income. I had decided I was going to stay home to raise the kids. And even if I wasn't ill, I still would have done that. And so we had to make it work. And he knew that we were going to have to make it work. Before we were married, we discussed this. And so
I won't say I wasn't a little bit stressed out in the first couple of years because I didn't really feel like I knew how to do that. But yeah, we did make it work. It was harder then, but the more we did it, the more experience we got doing it. Mm-hmm. And I think I kind of mentioned this last time as far as living on one income. If you're not living on one income, thinking, oh, tomorrow we're going to be living on one income is not realistic. And you're going to completely have a mental breakdown because if you're in a certain habit, changing that habit is hard. So what we did is, at first we were struggling and we tried to do the minimum necessary to be able to just pay everything. But then over the time we'd say, hey, what if we do this? And then what if we take the money from that and put it into this other thing instead? And it just released a whole bunch of money for us out of that.
Yep. So if you're wanting to live on one income and you don't know how, and you're both working right now, your number one, Jamie wants to know if you've met a pilot yet, Ellie. The number one thing is to get rid of as much debt as possible before you go to one income. If you have car loans, if you have student loans, credit cards, get that paid off as soon as possible. cut out everything. Sell your cars if you have loans on them and get them paid off and get something cheaper, or just pay off the loan. If you own on student loans, that kind of thing, get those things paid off. If you have to get a third job between the two of you, do it and put everything towards there. Stop eating out, stop going on these expensive vacations, stop buying your kids a bunch of stuff.
Well, and even eating out, like if getting to one income, that's going to be something you might want to completely cut out. But once you get on one income and you kind of learn how to live that way, it's okay to go out sometimes.
Yeah, but we're talking about if you're wanting to get down to
paying
one
off debt.
income,
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to get it paid off.
Yeah, because
Okay.
all the debt is just, it's taking money from your situation and not providing you anything in the now.
Yeah. So if you want to stay at home, tip number 7 is pay off your credit cards. Okay. I know I just kind of touched on this a little bit, but these kind of overlap. You are not going to have, how do I say this? You're going to have a lot of stress if you have a lot of debt. Get those credit cards paid off. Stop using them. Period. Use your debit card. You can use your debit card to buy whatever you need. That kind of thing. Use cash if it's easier for you to use cash. Then take out the cash. $1,000 for a month, whatever. That's all our groceries, all our everything, all our car gas, whatever, and make it stretch. So you can do that. Don't make it complicated when you're getting your debt paid off. Everybody says, should I pay off the highest interest rate first? Should I pay off the lowest interest rate first? Should I pay off the highest balance first or the lowest balance? I would say, in our opinion, or my opinion, I don't know if this is Michael's opinion, but I would say it's smart to pay off the highest interest rate first. But if you are a person who needs to be encouraged as you go along, I would pay off the smallest balance first.
Well, that's what we did, because when you pay off the smallest balance,
You feel like you're
all
getting
the money
somewhere.
that was going to that can now be added to the next thing, and it will snowball. I mean, Dave Ramsey talks about that too, but we were doing it before we knew
Yeah,
who
we were
Dave
doing
Ramsey
it
was.
before Dave Ramsey. Everybody says, oh, you guys have the same thing as Dave Ramsey. No, we were talking about this before Dave Ramsey even
Was
came
on the
on the
radio.
scene.
Yeah.
So don't tell me I stole his stuff. I didn't. It's just a principle that has been around for
But
eons.
it's true,
so,
and it makes sense that if you pay off one completely, so you attack the smallest one, because if you pay off that one completely, then you have that extra money to put towards the next one. And it makes it go faster, because, I mean, as long as you don't say, hey, look, we have $53 now. No, it's $50 to go to the next thing.
Yep.
And then when you pay off everything, then you can figure out what else
Yeah.
to do with the money.
So, in my opinion, I would say if you need to pay off your lowest balance first and just work your way up, because then you see progress. You feel like you're getting somewhere. Now, once you have continually paid your bills for a while, you can call your credit card companies and say, will you lower the interest rate on this, please? I am really working hard to get this paid off. Can you lower the interest rate? If they say no, one of the other credit cards may give you a lower interest rate. Call them and say, I have this balance at Chase. If I transfer it to you at Bank of America for 4% instead of, or 0% instead of 21%, what are the fees? How much is it going to be? Even if you have to pay a fee, if you get 0% or a low percentage interest rate, even if you have to pay a $75 transfer fee, that's still way cheaper if you're paying $75, $100 a month in interest. So do the math. Look how much interest you're paying a month on card, whatever, and would it be cheaper to transfer it? And there's a telephone number right on the back. Just call them and ask them. Now, your credit is going to have to be good to do this, and it will take you 6 months to a year of consistently paying every bill every month to start getting your credit back up in good standing.
Yeah.
But if your credit was bad before and the credit card company says, oh, well, no, you can say, listen, I've been paying every bill for 6 months. I'm working really hard on this. And would you please allow me to do this? And you would be surprised the numbers of times that they will.
Actually, the thing about that, most people are afraid to ask, but most of the time when you ask, they would just lower the rate. And there were times when they wouldn't, and we're like, okay, we'll just call the other company. They made us an offer a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Then we'll call them and say, hey, what's up with that? And what was interesting is, at first, they didn't want to loan us, they didn't want to give us a good interest rate because we already had more debt than the income really warranted. And what ended up happening is, after we paid really well on it for a few months, then they offered us a lower rate. Because see, some people say, well, you guys use 0% interest. I can't get 0% interest. Well, it didn't start that way. It started like at 17 or 20 or something.
21.
And then it went down
to 15.
15. And then a few
like
months later,
10.
they offered us like 7.9. And then it was 3.9. And then it was 0. And so every time there was an opportunity, we'd lower that. And guess what? That meant that the payment was lower. The minimum payment was lower. So we would take the money we were paying before on the minimum, and we would add that on. We wouldn't cut our payment down.
So let me put it to you this in perspective, guys. In 5 years, we paid off $20,000 of credit card debt and medical bills in 5 years, and we never paid any interest at all on any of it because we were transferring it back and forth. And we do have a credit.
It was a little bit of work to do that, but man, it was way more.
Well, every 6 months I would have to make a phone call.
The work was
yeah.
It was just a little bit of work for a huge amount of savings.
Yeah. And we do have an ebook on how we did that. So you might want to go to the store and get our ebook on how we paid off our credit card bills, since we're talking about that. Number
Did you want to answer any
8.
questions? Or
no,
no,
because actually some of these are my tips that I've already...
All right. So we'll get to the questions
Yeah,
afterwards.
we'll get to them in just a little bit, guys, because some of them I'm going to answer because I've already thought of this. Number 8. Mike's going to put our how we paid off credit card debt. It's winning the credit card game here. Make your kids pay for their own stuff. All right, this is controversial, I know, but our kids, when they turn 16, they are allowed to get a cell phone, but they have to pay for it. I know those of you who live in Harlem or New York City or whatever, and your kids have to walk to school in a crime-ridden neighborhood. I'm not talking about those kinds of things. You can get a flip phone for 20 bucks for those kinds of emergencies, okay? But
and we almost did, because our daughter didn't want to buy one.
Yeah.
And she had to spend her own money on it.
We live in suburban Colorado. I get it. Not a lot of high crime. In my kids' schools, 95% of the kids have smartphones. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for middle schoolers to be having smartphones. So, when they turn 16, our kids pay for their car, their car insurance, their phone, and those kinds of things. We have 3 kids who are over 18. They're paying for all their car repairs, all their car, we were paying for car repairs because we do have to drive to school. They don't have an option. They have to drive to school here. They can't ride their bikes, nothing. So we were doing car repairs, but now that they're 18 and graduated, they're paying their car repairs. They're paying their cell phones. They're paying for their food. If they want something special, they pay for it. We buy basic food. They buy the special stuff, to the point where 2 of them even got their own little refrigerator to keep it in their room, hidden from the other siblings.
Yes, and then I realized that the refrigerator wasn't a good idea. So I was keeping one thing in there, and then it was just running out the tax. So I was like, eh.
So, you know, and Ellie did get her refrigerator for free. BJ paid, I think, 30 bucks for his or something, 50 bucks, I don't know. But anyway, now they're going to be paying for all of their clothes. And as soon as they turn 19, they start paying rent. So, we have, just for those of you, given BJ a small reprieve since he was so sick.
We were charging him some things, but we backed off of it when we realized he wasn't just being a slacker. He actually wasn't well enough to work.
So, but now that he's working again, he's going to be paying rent and all of those things. They're paying all. By the way, your car insurance is due, Ellie. Dad didn't charge it yet. Here's your bill notice.
So we're going to take the camera over and show what happens live when we hand our kids a bill.
And I know parents will
they're
say,
saying yes.
I want my kids to save as much money as they can. No, I don't think so. I think
if you give them a lot of stuff for nothing, they will not respect it, and they won't save it, and they'll be in worse off shape.
They pay for their own college. If they want to go to college or whatever, they will have to figure out how to pay for it. BJ paid, so get this, BJ paid for his drone pilot's license. He worked a year to save up the money to go to school to do this.
Which is like it's a college.
Yeah. It's a trade school type thing, yeah. And his teacher said that he is the only one who paid cash for his schooling. He paid $15,000 cash to get his pilot's license. All the other kids took out a loan for $30,000 because they gave him a cash discount. $30,000 just for the loan on top of 5 years interest. So we're talking what, probably $50,000? I don't know, probably $50,000 probably in the end.
Hope says, oh my gosh, Tara, I could kiss you. We have exactly the same rules. Well, some other kids have told us it's not cool. But
yes.
But I know in the end it's going to be better for them. And it's already showing that it's going to be that way.
Hold on. Yes, they are going to be paying room and board. Now, as they go along, the longer they're here, the higher their rate is going to go up, so that they are not encouraged to stay home. Yeah,
so right now, Hope was asking how much. We were planning to charge them in a stepping up over, because we don't think they should stay in the house too long. But at the same time, we don't want to say, oh, you have to get out now. But just when I was younger, we weren't encouraged to leave when I think we should have been. So.
Yeah, so BJ's, you told him how much then?
I didn't.
So BJ, we're charging him $150 a month right now for his room. And then he wants to do no, it's in the baggie. He wants to do a project car.
In the garage.
In the garage, so he's going to be charged $100 a month for that also. If he's going to take up the whole garage, then we're going to, or a portion of the garage, then we're going to charge him for that. So we do charge our kids.
Well, and that's not a lot, but what we're doing is we're trying to get it to where gradually they are able to handle those bills, so that when it's time to go out in the world, it's not suddenly like, here you go, here's $8,000 worth of expenses.
Yeah. And Hope did bring up a good point. She said,
Darlene says, awesome, same amount as us.
Hope brought up, sorry guys, I'm getting really sick of my stomach. Had Ellie bring me a ginger. If the kids were in school, we don't charge them rent. Okay? So if they're in college, or they choose to do that, we won't charge them rent. But they still have to pay all of their car expenses, their clothing, their food that they want, their cell phone, everything. But we wouldn't charge them rent if they were going full-time to school. So, all right, I hope we got that all settled. So,
Well, and somebody asked about, what about community college? Do your kids pay?
Yes.
Well, so that would be the plan, and BJ did pay for his school.
Mm-hmm.
But like Emily with school, she just got a ton of scholarships, and so that's covered. And then BJ paid. Ellie decided she didn't want to do it right now, but they went to school where they were able to get some of that. It's part of their high school as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
Hope says my kids are not allowed to get their driver's license until they have $1,000 emergency fund and can pay for 1 year of car insurance.
That's great. Yeah. We didn't do that, but that's a really good idea. And we will say we paid $1,500 for our kids' first cars, only because they have to drive to school, and it was a convenience for us. When our niece came to live with us, we were driving 7.5 hours between my husband, me, and my son, kids to school every day. So that was $1,500 well spent when everybody got their driver's license. We were like, please. So we did spend $1,500, but when BJ totaled his car, he had to pay for all of it. So
Well, yeah, and it was funny because we went and we didn't yell at him. He was feeling bad already, and we were like, he already understands this is a bad thing. But what we didn't save him from having to pay the cost of the poor decision he made.
yeah,
So,
he had to pay the tickets.
interestingly, Brenda says, I paid for, and he was like, he felt so bad he wanted to pay the tickets.
Yeah.
So Brenda says, I paid for almost everything from the time I was 15 to present. I'm 55 now. Resented it then, but thrilled now because I've always taken care of my own bills. Yay.
Yeah.
But Sandy said, when my daughter was a teenager, I paid for everything. Even as she got into her 20s, I did, because I felt sorry for her. Huge mistake. Caused a financial burden for my husband and I, and it was really dumb.
I'm sorry, it makes me really mad. I have absolutely no sympathy. None, zero zip, zero zilch, none whatsoever, none. For parents, and this happens all the time, parents who come to me and say, how am I supposed to save for retirement? And they are putting 2 to 3 kids through college, and yet they don't have money for retirement. No way. If your kids are 18 and they can make that decision themselves, they need to be paying for that themselves. No ifs, ands, or buts. I have no sympathy for you if you don't have any retirement and you're paying your kids' college. It's just flat out irresponsible. So, just in case you were wondering where I stood on that point,
Yes.
did I make that clear?
Yes. Well, there are a lot of other people saying that too. Kathy says, so true. My daughter moved out at 28 and she can't manage bills and never paid me a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is, it's not just we want to take your money from your student job. It's more like you're learning now how to manage that, so that, because like when I moved out, I had absolutely zero training in how to survive in the world, and it was kind of a very sudden, like, today I'm leaving, kind of moving out, and I was totally terrified, had absolutely no idea how to pay any bills, and had never, well, I paid my car insurance, but that was about it. Well, and
Yeah.
books for college, but nothing, like most of my regular bills I didn't pay until then.
Yeah.
So I think, so regarding the kids, I think it's doing them a great big favor to teach them how to do it so they're not terrified to try to do it on their own. And even now, it's funny because in Colorado, a house is like $350,000 for just kind of a basic house. And rent for a family would, I mean, one person could maybe rent for what, 800 or 1,000?
1,000.
But like a family would be 1,500 or more. Well, it's funny because we've been discussing this for a number of years, and BJ just kind of was thinking the other day, now that I'm working again, I'm going to do this and that, and I'm going to save and get enough money to buy a small house. Well, that's a great idea because he'll be able to save a huge amount of money over the rent, and it'll be his place, and he has a plan to pay it off really quickly once he does that.
He's delivering pizzas. It's a job most people don't want to do, but it pays very, very well.
Yeah.
Extremely well, while he's looking for a drone job, and he's doing that and getting as much cash as he can saved up so that he can do that. Number 9, stop eating out, people.
That includes coffee.
That includes coffee. You guys have no idea how much you're spending eating out. You really don't. I get emails all the time. I never realized how much I was spending eating out. One couple emailed me and said they spent $22,000 in 1 year just eating out. Stop eating out. Get our Dining on a Dime cookbook. Penny! Hello, welcome Penny. Get our Dining on a Dime cookbook. Can you get the link up there?
I'm sorry, yes.
And learn how to cook at home. These are simple recipes. You can do most of them in 15 minutes or less. I do it on the show all the time. So just stop eating out, period. Buy yourself a coffee maker at home.
Cynthia says, I bought an espresso machine.
Yeah.
Yay.
Learn how to make your gourmet coffee at home. If they can make it at the store, you can make it at home. And yes, you can make it as good. You may just have to practice a little bit and figure out the technique. But you need to do that.
Yeah, Amy says putting a roof over their head is one thing, but paying everything is another. I was raised spoiled by a lot of standards, but it hasn't done me any favors as an adult. Like Mike said, so to start, I had no clue. Well, and that's how I ended up a lot of with the debt. Like my parents, they weren't very smart with their money in those days, and it was a big secret. Well, I was in college and I had no idea why they were doing what they were doing with their money. And so there was a table there and they're like, hey, you have this credit card. Do something nice for yourself. You deserve it. And I had no idea. So I thought, okay, yeah, I guess I do. Well, it took me about 6 months to realize what a catastrophe that was. Mm-hmm. But we were trying to teach them ahead of time what the potential danger is to prevent them from having to spend years and years getting out of it like we did.
Yeah. And Connie says another thing. Show your kids how much the bills cost. Do not hide your finances from your kids. Why are you hiding your finances from your kids?
Yeah. Tell them everything.
What secrets? If you're having to hide your finances from your kids, you have a problem. There's something wrong. You need to show your kids the bills. You need to sit down and show them. The electric bill was $150 this month. The vet bill was $350 this month. Look, the car insurance bill was...
I offered to pay it, okay. Man.
The mortgage is this amount. And look, out of the $1,000 a month of mortgage that we're spending, only $150 is going to paying off the house. All this other stuff is for taxes and insurance and special road districts and all that other kind of stuff. So you need to show your kids these things. And with BJ, we haven't done this with Ellie and Emily. We need to sit down and do it, although I think they got a pretty good grasp. With BJ, when he was 16 or so, he's like, when I hit 18, I'm out of here, people.
There's going to be a sign.
The sign on the door says, see you later. And Mike and I were just like, yeah, okay. And but we sat down with him. We said, that's fine, BJ. If you want to leave and get an apartment, that's fine. So we're going to sit down and write out your expenses. And we said, okay, so to live in Colorado, you're going to have to earn $2,500 to live in Colorado with a roommate if you can find one. And he was like, wow. So your kids need to have real numbers so they know what's happening.
Uh-oh. So Allison wants to know, if they don't give you the money, what is the consequence?
They don't drive my car.
If it's car insurance,
yeah. Well, any of it.
If it's car related, it's the real life consequence. If it's car related, you don't get the car. If it's
rent,
we haven't run to the rent thing, but at the age that they are, if it's rent related, eventually it would be, well, then good luck. You're going to need to find a place to live where you can figure out how to pay the rent.
Mm-hmm. The car is
and
in our name.
And it's going to be cheaper here until we step it up enough.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, the car is in our name. The car is insured in our name. And if they choose to be rebellious and leave, okay, our car's been stolen by our son. We did not give him permission to take it. So
the thing is, Allison, there has to be a line where you say, this is the line. You cannot cross this line. Mm-hmm. If it gets to where you don't ever define that line, then you're going to be paying for them the rest of your life. And that's not going to help them, and it's not going to help you. I've also known family where they were being largely supported by parents, and then the parents would die. They just totally tailspin and couldn't figure out how to do anything after that.
Yeah, $80,000 in debt, don't know what to do with it, claim bankruptcy, who knows how many times. You can't do that. You're just spoiling your kids and not teaching them real life responsibility. Okay, number 10. Yeah, I'll get to those in just a minute. Let me get my 10, because last week I almost didn't make it.
Okay.
People were yelling at me, so I got to get to number 10. Number 10.
Dave is on. Cue the Get It Together people. Dave, where are you?
He's in the office.
Oh, you slacker.
Stop buying things like family pictures. Those are not a necessity. I know people who will spend $500 to $1,000 on family pictures. Stop buying stuff like family pictures, expensive vacations, school pictures. Oh my word. Oh, it's coming. I feel it coming. The school pictures just put me over the edge.
Oh, it's like extortion.
It's extortion. You need to stop buying the school pictures.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
The thing about that's funny is, it's like, your kid's not going to be cool. Nobody's going to like them if they don't get the ones that they took at the school. And by the way, it's $97.
School fundraisers, school pictures, all those things absolutely make me livid. Last year, for school pictures, it was going to be $40 for the cheap package.
Well, yeah. Well, the other thing is a lot of people get the one with all the millions of different cuts for the pictures. And then later on, years later, you look in your memories box and there's like 42 pictures there.
Who
and
cares?
2 of them have been cut out. And that's for grandma. And I don't know.
So what we do for family pictures is we wait until October, November. We get a Groupon of something that's cheap, usually at Penny's or Target or somewhere like that. And then for, I think it was $50 last year. For $50, we not only got 4 shots of the entire family, we got all 5 kids' school pictures done at the same time. For the same $50 instead of $40 for each kid. Ridiculous. School fundraisers.
And they were studio pictures.
Yeah, and they look really good. School fundraisers. Stop buying the chocolate chip cookies. You do not need them anyway. You don't need the popcorn. You don't need the braided whatever. Stop buying those things. We don't buy any of that stuff. I know the schools pressure the kids, but we had a rule when our son first started school 15 years ago.
You're talking about the fundraisers.
No school fundraisers, no ifs, ands, or buts. You guys, I know they make it sound really good, but we're not doing it, period.
Well, and kind of what happened is I did a lot of fundraisers, and it was the most stressful thing in the world ever as a kid to have to do that. And,
It's wrong. Kids shouldn't have to do
you
that.
have to persuade somebody to pay some exorbitant amount of money so that your group at the school could get 75 cents or something. And I went to the school and I said, hey, look, here's the deal. In our family, we don't do fundraisers. But I understand you're trying to raise money for this cause, and I'll just write you a check. And it was not like a huge, I wasn't saying I'm going to write you $1,000 check or anything, but just, I told them I would just give them some cash for the cause. And they're like, no, it has to go through the fundraiser. I'm like, okay, well, if you send those home with him, they're going to sit in the corner until the fundraiser's over and he has to return the remains. Because I'm not having him do that.
It is wrong for schools to put that on the kids.
If I was wanting to teach my kids how to be salesmen, okay, that's fine. But that's not the goal that I have for them being at that school.
No.
And those things I would rather wait until they're older than have them feel the pressure to do that this thing that they're not really equipped for at that age. So
yeah, and so we don't buy things like DVDs. We don't buy things like RVs, campers. Oh my word, the people around here. I don't see how anybody's making their house payment.
they're barely making their house payments.
That's true.
Almost
They're barely
all the
making
people.
it. And they're not living on one income. But everybody has these ridiculously expensive RVs around here. It's absolutely crazy. So stop buying stuff like that you can't afford. And just say no.
So, are we ready for questions?
Did I do good?
Yeah, that was good. Say, get it together, people.
Get it
No
together,
debt.
people. Okay,
Well,
questions.
actually, seriously, the main
Get
thing
questions.
is, people. I worked in the media. I was a television producer for 20 years. I'd never worked in news. I was close to news. I never worked in advertising. I was close to advertising. And what I realized is the whole mission, like when I was in film school, they said when you watch something on TV, how many of you feel like that the purpose of TV is for your entertainment? And we were all kind of like, they said, no, the purpose of TV is to get you to sit in a chair and watch ads over and over again. That's the only reason there's TV. And I've come to I realized at the time that was true. That's okay, that's a different thing. I realized that was true over the years, and as I was in the media all those years, I started realizing, wow, most advertising its purpose is to get you to buy things that you didn't know you needed. But they show you how amazing and wonderful it is and how cool you're going to look when you have it and how everybody else has it and all the kids at school have it. What kind of parent are you going to be when your kid doesn't have that? And then news does the same thing. News isn't about telling you, hey, look at this important thing you need to know. It was about making you afraid so that you'll buy more stuff, so that you'll watch their show and buy stuff from their advertisers so they get paid. So
stop being afraid of everything.
So the thing is that if you can get yourself in the mindset of asking yourself, in my real life, do I really need that? I mean, I thought maybe I did, but I don't really know. That's one way that's really going to save you a lot. The other thing is that always delay yourself. Like when I used to have a big spending problem at the very beginning, and I kind of got myself into this head game where I would say, oh, now I have the money for this. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow, or I'll wait till next week. And I would just put it off indefinitely and not spend it. And I would realize my life is just fine without that thing. And then other things like things that people are pressuring you to buy. If you feel pressured to buy stuff, don't buy it. Because if you're feeling pressured to buy it, that means that somebody's trying to make you feel bad to buy something you don't need. And the other thing was, like Tara said, don't buy new stuff if you can buy used stuff that's basically the same for... Because like Tara said, we were buying baby Gap clothes for BJ for $25. And other people were buying them for, well, how much did baby Gap cost?
Oh, they're
$30?
like $20, $25, $30, yeah. Probably.
And we knew family and friends who would say, I'm not about to put a used baby onesie on my baby. And like, your baby's going to wear it 3 times and then it's being too big for it. So why spend $30? That's $10 a wearing for your child to wear that in the days when we were making $6 an hour. By the way, Homestead Tessie asked how many, was that many years ago, I think when we paid off the debt. It was. It
was. But even now, things haven't changed that much. That
the thing that's important to remember is it was $20,000, which by today's standard doesn't sound like that much, but we made $22,000 a year. So if you can imagine in 1 year paying off, in 5 years, paying off an equivalent amount of debt to one entire year's worth of income, that's what we had to do. So now, let's say your income is $60,000.
Get our debt payoff story up there for them.
Then if you can you imagine paying that much off in 5 years? And it was much harder when it's like a small income. So I think for the most part it's probably easier now.
Yeah.
What was the story called?
Payoff. This is the butterscotch marshmallow. Didn't that turn out nice, guys? Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, Mike's putting the link to our...
I'm surprised I didn't have that ready.
How we paid off our debt and the exact amounts that we spent. We didn't take, when we got a tax refund, we didn't take and go spend it on a new TV, new furniture, or a vacation. We used it to pay off our debt.
Okay, so I gotta tell you a story. So in those days, occasionally there would be a random, oh hey, here's a $10 rebate from the phone company because you overpaid or something. Or the tax refunds, like Tara said. I was selling a lot of stuff I'd collected as a kid because in those days I thought I needed it and I realized I don't need all this stuff.
He had a Star Wars collection that he used to...
But where it gets better is, speaking of used things, a lot of you have heard this before, but we lived in this remote town in Idaho where there were dumpsters outside of town. And one day when I was dumping trash, I discovered some brand new bags of garden supplies and they weren't even open. So I brought those home and said, wow, that's something. Well, we noticed people were throwing away good stuff in the trash. And so we would make it a Saturday habit, like Tara goes to the thrift store now, we just drive down there and see if anything good was in the dumpsters. Well, people in the town were kind of saying, oh, those people, they're in the dumpster. Oh, isn't that crazy? Well, the thing is, a lot of it was brand new, sealed in bags, or it might be like garden supplies where it wasn't a sealed bag, but it's garden supplies, you're not going to eat it. Well, what was funny is a lot of the stuff that we took out of those dumpsters, that people would not pull it out themselves, but we were able to sell that to them later at a garage sale. And
they wouldn't pull it out of the dumpster, but they'd buy it when we pulled it out at a garage sale.
But the beautiful thing is we used that money and we just put it straight on the debt.
Yep.
So every opportunity we had for a little money here and there, everything went on the debt. It was like for the Lord of the Rings fans out there, it was like the Eye of Sauron singularly focused on the ring. That was just all we were thinking is,
how do we get out of debt?
Oh, and interestingly, for the debt thing, I'm very visual. And I like to compete in some ways. So I made this graph where I predicted, okay, in this month we're going to be this much in debt, and then after we pay this much off, it's here. And I did a calculation all the way down to no debt. And then each month we would mark the actual on the chart, on the graph. So it got to where here's the line of the debt payoff, but here's the actual debt payoff. And man, that felt so good to look at that and say, look, we're doing way better than we thought. And we're paying this off much, much faster.
Yeah. This one is oatmeal and honey, guys. So while Mike's getting...
says, I know what you mean. I found an oak desk in the trash they were removing. It was missing a drawer. Well, it's funny because you could build something in that space.
Yeah. So guys, I'm selling the whole loaves So first, so if you want the whole loaf, this one is oatmeal and honey. There will be 15 to 16 bars depending on how I cut them. This one is butterscotch marshmallow, and I have 16 bars of, or 15 bars of this. And then I have tea tree, clove, orange clove, lavender, and spearmint eucalyptus, all 14 to 15 bars for you guys. So if you guys are interested, because I've had people interested in buying the whole loaves, I will sell the entire loaf for $50, and that includes shipping.
Turin says it's lovely soap.
Thank you guys. So if you guys are wanting it, I'm going to try that and see. Michael put the contact form on there. Email me and I will just send you a PayPal invoice. And then when it's done curing in 4 weeks, these 4 can go now. So the tea tree, clove, spearmint eucalyptus, and lavender can all go now.
You said put the contact form on?
Yeah.
It's just going to say you can send us an email here.
These other ones, they'll ship in 4 weeks when they're done curing. And you can just pay me and then I will just hold them and ship them to you. But they don't come individually labeled. I will put them in a nice clear plastic bag that they come in with one label, but I'm not going to individually label them. If you want to resell these at the store or something, you are welcome to do that. $50 for the entire loaf includes shipping, and if you buy more than 2 loaves, I think I can get 2 loaves in one box, so the shipping will be even less. So
Jill E was asking, do we still dumpster dive?
Yes.
We'd like to, although it's been harder lately.
Go get my video.
We haven't found, well, we did when we first moved into this house, but we haven't found very good places around here.
We just did a video of dumpster diving, a couple of months ago when our neighbor was moving. When we moved into this neighborhood.
Oh, that one. Oh.
The builders, we asked the builder if we could dumpster dive, and he was like, well, yeah, sure, that's fine. That's less, we pay by the pound, so that's less we have to take. Yeah. And then our neighbors were moving and got a dumpster, and Jamie and I, this one's oatmeal and honey. Jamie and I got some really good deals on that.
We don't go aggressively looking like we used to, but if we find something, we don't overlook it. That's for
or
sure.
If it's sitting on the side of the road, we'll pick it up. If it's sitting in the trash.
But also, we were trying to be cautious of the fact that we don't want to collect a lot of stuff at this point. But if we need something, we keep an eye out for where it might be. And if we see, we'll be driving along, and if Tara sees it, like in front of somebody's house with a free sign, or in a dumpster somewhere, we'll check it out right away. Yeah. I mean, we have, for those of you who haven't been around for a long, long time, we also have like a video about how we built our shed, which probably would have cost us $10,000 with totally free materials, almost all from the dumpster. You should put that link
on there too. I have this shea butter. I have 2 loaves of shea butter, $50, unscented, great for sensitive skin, that I've got too. So that I think, let me cut it and see. This was my one that I was wondering if it was going to work, and I'm pretty sure it did. Yep. So unscented shea butter, if you need a sensitive skin, if you have rosacea, eczema, those kinds of things, this helps you not to break out.
So I'm sharing the link to the storage shed now. It's called How to Build a Storage Shed for Less. And, you know, you might say, well, nobody's constructing anything in my neighborhood right now. That's not the point. The point is, think in your mind, how can I get this for less? And the thing is, a lot of what we've been doing, we're just saving things from being wasted.
Okay, so Forging Freedom channel says, I saw a sign at my bank that says, is your next family vacation hiding in your home equity? Ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous, and you should not be doing that at all unless you have a diagnosis of a terminal illness. Okay, maybe a little bit, but I could see if you just really have 6 months to live, that I could see something like that. Not going to Disneyland just for the family vacation, guys. That's not worth it.
Sleepy Girl 85 wants to know, can you give advice for how to handle getting financially fit if your spouse isn't on board? My husband seems to think the only solution is making more money as opposed to changing our habits.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's a marriage counseling problem.
That's part of it.
It really is. One thing you might try, which helped Mike when we were first married, was to figure out how many hours you have to work for something. So if you make $10 an hour and you spend $30 on a delivery pizza, which includes the tip and the pizza, you have to work 4 hours to pay for that pizza by the time you buy the by the time you get paid, and you have to count taxes because it's after tax money. So is it worth working 4 hours to pay for that pizza? Is it worth working an entire year at $40,000? A year and a half is what you would have to pay. 18 months, a year and a half for a new $25,000 car. Is it worth working a year and a half to only pay for that car? You could literally take off
For the pleasure
work.
of driving the car when another car...
You could literally take off work a year and a half if you did not own that car and you bought a car that was cheap, and you could pay cash for it.
Heather's asking for the debt payoff story. I am sharing it right now, Heather. It's the one that says how we paid off $20,000, etc., etc.
This one is also $50 for the entire loaf.
What were you
if you
just
guys
talking
want
about? Oh, the spouse thing. Another thing I would say, having been the guy, is if you can think about, a lot of times guys think in a different way than, well, guys and men and women think differently about things, and each person has a different thing that appeals to them and how they think. And for me, it was really visual. So, like I said, I did that thing with the chart and all that. If you can show him in a way that he might understand a little better, because the truth is, I mean, if you're making $250,000 a year, even then, if you're spending
There is
too
a
much,
point you have to make more money.
but even if you're
but
yeah, the thing is, if you're spending a little, but if you're spending more than you need to be, and you're not making very much money, to say the only thing we can do is make more money is just an excuse to keep doing what you're doing, and that would be an issue that he may just not want to change. In that case, it goes back to the marriage counseling issue Tara was talking about. But if it's that he doesn't really understand, if there are ways you could illustrate to him in a language that he would understand more. Like I said, I'm kind of more with the visual thing. Or if Tara says, if somebody were to tell me, I mean, I already believe in this sort of thing. But if somebody said, you know, if you didn't buy it, if you had to buy something that nobody else has ever worn, and it's going to cost you $100. Or somebody else has worn it a little bit and you can wash it and it's going to cost you $5, I think that would make sense to me in a visual way. Mm-hmm. So I would try those things and hope that he's just not understanding. So,
you guys want to see the pets?
Oh, Laurel says...
Can you pull Buster over here, Ellie?
Buster!
Oh, is he hidden?
Here he comes.
Oh.
Somebody had seen him. Laurel said, in our town, the recycling depot has a share shed. If someone can use it, not including clothes, if you can use it, you're welcome to it. Yes.
I wish every town had that. That makes me so sick to see people just throw stuff away. I think that is the best idea ever.
Here.
Ever.
Oops, except
Okay.
he's really far
Buster.
away.
Here, come here. Come here.
He's here. Let me take this off of here.
Hey, come here. Or you can watch my 2 videos then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ellie has some videos. Sorry for the... There we go.
Here,
Buster!
over here. Ellie.
Hey, guy!
Yay, that's perfect.
Yay.
Here, I'll put on Ellie's channel here. She's got a couple of videos with him in there, so I'll stick that on here for you guys. Go check out Ellie's channel.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'm trying to get the camera back on.
She's got some pretty funny videos on there.
Something else I was thinking based on a comment I had seen. What was it? So Laurel was talking about the share shed.
I think that's
You
brilliant.
know, something else is that paying attention to things when they come up. We discovered after we lived in Wichita for a while that there's a county hazardous waste recycling center. And so if you have something like paint that you don't really need, but it's fine, you can donate it to them. Well, you can donate it if it's not fine, but they will search through paint and household chemicals, and anything that's been donated that's in good shape, they'll put it in this little store thing, and you can get it for free.
Mom paints everything with free paint. She
So,
gets free lawn chemicals,
there
free
was-
car stuff,
There
free
was
oil.
a lot of laundry product, like laundry
Cleaning products.
soap and cleaning products, and like Downy. There were paints and bug sprays and all kinds of stuff.
Fertilizers.
And you know, okay, so it's not a full can of bug spray, but if it's 3/4 full and it's free, totally
And don't
take that
say
money and
it's
put it
not
somewhere
worth
else.
your time. Most of these, you need to add up how much you actually get. Going to the thrift store for me is a 25-minute drive. But when I go, I save no less than $50 each trip. And usually it's a couple of $100 for each trip for stuff that I'm looking for. So stop saying it's not worth the time, because you take just as long going to a thrift store as you would going to a regular store to find clothes. Don't tell me it takes less time. I know it doesn't. I've tried it both ways. You still have to go look through all of the all of the other, you know, stores to find what you're looking for. So.
Oh, there was something else I thought of. I know this is a different, kind of a little bit of a different thing, but on the garage sales, there was a time where we had no money, so we were making fun out of things that were not always fun. Like, we didn't have a lot of money to buy stuff, so we would go to garage sales and we would find cool things that we wanted personally, but instead of spending $200, we'd spend $2. And it was, at the time, we got to where we lived in Manhattan, Kansas, and they would publish the night before where all the garage sales were going to be. So I print out a map, and we'd sit there and we'd mark all the garage sales on the map, and then we'd kind of say, okay, we're generally going to go this way and go around here and over there. And we'd hit like 60 garage sales in an hour. And we'd go to one, we'd walk around pretty quickly, check everything out. Nah, this isn't our garage sale. Go to the next one, same thing. And then 5 garage sales in, we'd be like, oh, it's gold, it's solid gold. And we'd walk away with, you know, $500 worth of stuff for $5.
One garage sale, it was $500 worth of stuff. This kid, you could tell his parents paid for everything, sold a really nice blender $1. It was like a $50 blender for $1. I mean, he was giving away everything, $5 for everything, and it was $500. And so that was our fun to see what treasures we could get. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna go try and hit, there's a neighborhood sale over by my friend Jamie who's on here, and I'm gonna go try and hit that in the morning to see if I can find anything. Now, I'm not looking for junk, but what I am looking for is my son needs some new polo shirts and some new pants. And over by that school, it's the neighborhood by the kids' school where they have uniforms. All the time, parents will be having a garage sale, and they'll put the kids' uniforms for $1. Now, I know boys go through knees. That was a comment on here. I totally get it. I have 3 boys. But I just keep looking, and like last year, I found a lady who was selling uniform pants for 25 cents. She had 3 sizes for the next years. This happened 3 years ago, so now I got to restock again. But I had enough to get Jack for less than $5, 3 years worth of pants. When he got a hole in the knee, I threw them away and I moved on to the next pair. Yeah, they didn't last quite as long, but they lasted like 4 or 5 months for $1. That's worth it. I got, I think I paid, I can't remember how much it was, but I think I ended up spending like $3 and I got $250 worth of pants. It was crazy. So
very crazy indeed.
Sorry. Bay, was it Bay? Yeah. I might not have copied it all. Asked what kind of dog do you have? He's a Bichon.
Yeah.
Bichon Frise.
I don't know how you say it. Heather, I do not make my own cleaning and laundry products, except when I make my homemade soap and I have a failed batch and it's lye heavy, that makes great laundry soap, but I don't really make people concentrate on the things like laundry soap when they're eating out, spending hundreds of dollars every month. They're worried about $10 worth of laundry soap when they need to be worrying about the $500 of eating out. I'm not saying you're doing that, but it happens all the time. People focus on the little things, and they need to be getting the big things under control, and eating out is a big one. But you can, as a matter of fact, Michael put my link here. I have a really good link to homemade laundry soap. Oh man. And It depends on your water in your area. It works really, really well with some people and not so great with other people, but it's worth the couple of bucks to try it. Yeah. It's $10 for a year's worth of laundry soap. It's worth giving it a try to see if you like it. And I do use it occasionally, but
is this the one you make for BJ?
no, but my son has sensitive skin and he can't use the bar soaps. So I don't make it. I have to get the special non-sensitive skin stuff so he doesn't break out.
Okay, just pasted that link in. Forging Freedom Channel said I sold $800 worth of stuff from dumpster diving.
Yep.
See, that was what I just thought was hilarious about that is people that would comment about us and then buy it from us.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
scroll down. Do we have anything last?
there are others from before, but we're kind of over time. Did you want to?
Okay, let's see. Anything quick we can answer here before I go pass out on the couch?
Nothing there. Did you want to see? Let's see if we missed. I have the other comments too that we missed. What is the email address? Is that for us?
If you guys want to buy my soap, put the contact page on there, Mike. We have a contact page. Just do a reader general question. The soaps are for 4 to 16 bars. They're all 5-pound loaves. But, excuse me, I have the shea butter, the oatmeal and honey, butterscotch and marshmallow, and then I have tea tree, lavender, and spearmint eucalyptus. $50 for all of the bars, and that includes the shipping. And you guys are welcome if you have a store or something, or a flea market or a farmer's market you want to sell it at, go for it. You will just have to label it and wrap it, and I will put one label in there, and then you can do the rest. So.
I shared that contact form in the comments, but if you miss it, if you go to livingonadime.com and just click where it says contact, that'll go straight there. April says people need to write down everything they spend money on for a week or two, and then they can figure out where they need to cut costs. Yeah. If you write everything down, you might be surprised.
Yeah.
So.
There's this app called Mint.
Yeah.
It's really helpful.
Mint? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
an app called Mint.
Oh, hi, my brother David. That's my question. It's a legitimate question. Oh, you're such a ding-a-lang. Hello, my brother David. I hope Shayla's my sister-in-law almost lopped off her finger.
Tammy says I do a challenge. I buy consumables in January and challenge myself to make it last.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
There were some other
Okay,
comments
let me see
that
them
we
real
missed
quick.
from before, but I don't know if we may have gotten a lot of them. Angelica says when my son was young, I would have him save to earn the money for those extra items as young as 8 years old. He'd have to earn that money, and in repaid allowance, he would recycle every yard sale.
Yep.
We also have paid the kids, like Dave works the show. It's his regular job, and we pay him for that.
Yeah. And
Instead
we
of
pay the
just
kids to help ship books, things like that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yes, Darlene, the kids have to pay for college here, so.
Let's see. We've already read those. I'm looking to see if we have any questions that we haven't answered. As I'm looking back, who knows wanted to know what you were drinking. That was some kind of tea.
It was just tea.
Um,
I'm not feeling very good. I think I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not feeling good.
it looks like I think we got most of those questions there.
Okay, so.
Oh, Wendy was asking what the app was. It's called Mint, M-I-N-T.
It's free.
It's free.
Free,
Yeah.
it's like for Android or something, or probably iPhone.
Well, I have it on Android, but I think you can use for
Get it
iPhone
for
too.
either one.
Yeah.
I think you just it just connects your bank account to the app, and then it shows you with graphs and colorful things what you're spending, and you can adjust your.
Can you adjust it to not include soap making supplies?
You can adjust it to your needs. So I want to spend $20 on clothes this week, or maybe not that much, but just to whatever. It's really helpful. I use it.
So Brenda said several years ago we fell into the habit of just running out and buying this and that. It was never expensive for one trip to the store, but when I added up a couple weeks worth of those cheap trips, the total shocked us. That fixed us right quick.
Yeah. We don't do those. If I need something, I don't just run out and get it. I wait till someone's going to town. I only have them get that usually. You know, I don't do a big spending spree or anything like that. So...
J. Joe says, is the $50 worth of soap for just one offer, or are there several?
So you need to email me because I'm just selling them because I'm tired of shipping. So if you want to buy an entire loaf for $50, I've got oatmeal and honey here. It's 14 to 16 bars depending on how big they cut, because some of them I had to hand cut. Oatmeal and honey, orange and clove, butterscotch marshmallow, spearmint eucalyptus, lavender, tea tree, and shea butter. I have 2 shea butters. I have 2 loaves of shea butters. So if you guys are interested, the shea butter is unscented, great for sensitive skin. These 3 will ship in, this one, and this one ship in 4 weeks. Everything else can ship now. So, but I'm tired of shipping, so, and I have people who want to buy whole loaves, or they have a store they want to sell it in or something. So that's the way I'm going to try and do it for a little while and see how that goes.
So when Kay Roma says next week in upstate New York is the 50-mile garage sale on Route 90 over to Montezuma.
Well,
so much
go.
Oh my goodness.
I've heard about that. I always thought that would be so cool.
Tara's going to have to bring a moving truck.
Yeah.
What are you saying about me? Just because I hit 2 garage sales this week and I already have to use the pickup twice and I haven't even gone yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thanks everybody. I know we ran some overtime, but
Yep.
we're glad you were here with us.
All right, guys, please give us a thumbs up, like, share. We're almost to 50,000 subscribers, and we are doing a giveaway of Mom's apron over on our YouTube channel. Michael put our link on there.
For
our YouTube channel. So if you're on Facebook, go subscribe on our YouTube channel. We're giving away an apron and a book.
Oops.
An apron and a Dining on a Dime cookbook that Mom handmade by Jill. Not many people. I'm the only one who has those aprons. So you will have a one-of-a-kind item made by Mom. I'm sure it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wait, what?
I'm sure.
Did I do something wrong here?
Living on
I typed in the wrong address.
So Mike's putting in the YouTube channel. Go and subscribe. If you're already on YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button.
Wait,
Thank you, Jamie.
do you want me to share the YouTube button or the subscribe to YouTube button?
Whichever is easiest.
Whoa.
Jamie shared on a Facebook craft page that she's on today. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. We are almost there. And so we're super, super excited. Yeah.
Yay.
We're super excited. My nose is going crazy. I'm allergic to lavender, and this lavender, my nose is just like, ah!
Hold on a second. I'm not.
Make me sleep. So just so you guys know, I keep 1 bar for myself so that I can always have
Oh man, is this
an
a
extra
spearmint
bar.
one?
Mm-hmm.
I want to chew it.
Yeah.
I love
Smells
spearmint
like
gum.
smells like gum, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a good night. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Yes, thank you. It's awesome seeing you. Goodbye. Oh,
You gotta turn
I guess
us
I gotta
off.
turn us off because Dave is on vacation today.
Yeah, Dave is on vacation.
All right. Thanks again for joining us.